Nebraska's winter wheat condition is among the worst in the nation. The latest progress report shows a third of the state's wheat is rated poor to very poor. Only South Dakota has a larger percentage in the worst two categories. On Monday, we talked with UNL's Stephen Baenziger about some of the diseases Nebraska's growers have faced this year, including stripe rust, which he says has been disastrous.
Well, this has been an outstandingly bad year for stripe rust. It's a disease that requires freestanding moisture to infect, and I think we have not had 3 days in a row without rain since the 1st of April, and now we're into June, so you've had all of April, all of June, all of May with rain, and when it's not raining, it's been humid, so you have dews, which is freestanding moisture. The other problem is that the stripe rust likes to start in cool weather, so April and May are ideal. We have never seen stripe rust quite like this, and it's been absolutely disastrous.
Was it managed differently across the state in terms of treated versus not treated?
Yes. It's interesting. Most of the wheat growers that are primarily wheat growers went ahead and sprayed their fields with fungicides. And the field behind us, we've sprayed with fungicide to try to control diseases of all kinds. And if you look at this, you can see how clean the leaves are. They're just absolutely gorgeous. That's a single spray of a fungicide that was applied, probably just before flag leaf. That'll last about 3 to 4 weeks. We've then since come back with a second spray because we really want to keep these plots clean for some research we're doing. And that got another disease which we've sort of frozen in place, Fusarium head blight. But it made a huge difference. In the east, not so many people sprayed. They're more corn, soybean growers. They don't treat wheat the way a wheat grower would treat it.
Tell me about the Fusarium head blight that we're now seeing in some fields across the state.
Okay, so I don't know if you can see this, but this is a head that has Fusarium head blight on it. And it'd be green partially, and then it would have sort of like it's been blanched or bleached. And what happens with Fusarium head blight is that sometimes it infects just a floret and doesn't spread. Sometimes it infects the top of the head and then spreads up and down. Sometimes it'll infest almost the whole head. Now this field has actually been sprayed with a fungicide that controls Fusarium head blight. The difficulty we had is it was so wet we couldn't get our sprayers out in time to control it perfectly, and even under the best of conditions, sometimes your sprays cannot hold up against the conditions weather gives you.
Was the Fusarium head blight, was it very common across the state?
You know, so far it's just showing up. So I think growers will see it now. I mean, this field, when we were out here just last week, did not look nearly as infested as this. But what happens is the blanching begins to show after the disease has occurred. So this head may have looked totally green, and now it's, 5 days later, and now you can see the blanching.
Do treatment options exist now?
If you're really worried about it, you probably could. I would talk to Dr. Stephen Wegulu, who our plant pathologist. He would have the economic thresholds and see. Certainly if your wheat is not flowered and in western Nebraska, but I think hopefully they're beginning to dry out, you could still probably treat because it's a much earlier crop than here.
Any other disease or virus problems that growers need to be aware of, or that you're seeing at least?
We've seen a little bit of barley yellow dwarf, and some people wonder about that. They may say their fungicide failed, but it's a virus, and so the fungicide doesn't take care of a virus. Normally it'll give you a yellow leaf. All the chlorophyll blanches out of it. Sometimes it gives you a red leaf. On oats it's called red leaf and oats. Barley, of course, it's barley yellow dwarf, so it's yellow leaves. Wheat can go red or yellow depending upon anthracynin. The other disease, which I'm surprised we haven't seen, is bacterial streak, which is a bacteria, and again, a fungicide doesn't control it. We've got some lines that we've released that are very tolerant of that, but most of our lines aren't, and so with as much moisture as we've had, I'm a little surprised I haven't seen more bacterial streak, but you'll see that quite commonly also.
On the Market Journal website, we'll link to more resources on wheat disease identification and treatment.